Cleveland! This is for you!
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Yeah, this for my dogs from the east to the west side. You rockin' brown and orange with me, baby. Let's ride. Represent the land, let them know. Tell them, here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Here We Go Brownies podcast. I'm Allie Heisong, coming to you live from Highway 77. I am driving all the way down to North Carolina, so quite literally on the road today. So if you can't see me live on the program, it's because my camera's off, because I am quite literally in a car. Joining me, as always, out in beautiful Boise, Idaho, we've got Dustin. Guys, your Browns come away with a big-time win, 27-3 over the Tennessee Titans. Dustin, this is a huge win. Feels good to be back on the winning side of things. I can tell you this, just the energy feels different. What I'm seeing on socials already is more positive. Things are trending in a better direction. Your thoughts in this game?
Just two words, Myles Garrett. Holy cow in this game. I believe 3.5 sacks. The Browns look like they're back to the Browns, and we'll get into this, but Deshaun played a great game, much better than the last couple weeks. But the defense, this is going to be a tough out for anybody playing the Cleveland Browns on defense for the rest of the season. So it was great to see the defense out there again, and the fact that you could see smirks and smiles from Schwartz on the sidelines. He knew what he was doing. This team is fired up. This defense is fired up. We're 2-1, and this leads into a very, very big game next Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, that play that you're referencing specifically that got a chuckle out of Jim Schwartz. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't recognize it at the time. It is off of the line of scrimmage and almost looks like he's about to drop back in coverage, but he's quite literally walking up and down the line and caused a delay of game because Tennessee was putting two offensive players to cover Myles Garrett. And he was just toying with them by walking up and down the line of scrimmage there and quite literally caused a delay of game. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. It's just funny at this point to see, one, Myles and his confidence. It's just remarkable. But two, just to see how much fun they're having. I think that that's something that's new for this Browns defense this year, because last year, Dustin, as we know, it wasn't fun at all.
No, and Allie, let's talk about the fact that just if we were watching the game last year, specifically when it came to the run defense, the way the run defense came out in this game today and didn't really Schwartz in his pregame press conference for the week is our job this week is to make Henry run east-west, not north-south. And I saw a lot of that today. They weren't running north and south on the Browns and really had an answer for Derrick Henry all day long. And other than a couple chunk plays to Hopkins, they kept this offense in check all day long. And I just don't think they had an answer for the Browns at all when it came to the defensive scheme that we had against the Titans today. Oh, we might have lost Allie. I think she's there. I think. Okay. Well, anyway, if we lost her, like I said, she is traveling from the road today. So just full disclosure, she's in and out maybe, but she's driving, I believe, to North Carolina. So we'll just keep chatting.
Sorry, everybody, if you can hear me. Horrible timing. Just went through a tunnel, and nothing we could do about it. So apologies on that front. Dustin, sorry to leave you hanging there for a moment, but
that's all right.
It was best to just cut myself from the stream. Apologies on that front. But no, to get back to your point of what you were saying about the defense just having fun, it's not something that we've seen in years past. But not only are they having fun, they're doing their job. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is we haven't really seen a great offense yet, outside of what we assume to be a good offense in Cincinnati week 1. But week 2. I've made myself pretty clear on this pod that I think the Pittsburgh offense is anemic and just not good. And Tennessee not having the best offense either. So we've got a real test next week. I'm excited to see this Browns team go up against a legit offense. But right now, they look pretty darn good.
Yeah, and as hey, Allie, obviously I'll be out in Cleveland next week. I couldn't have guessed picked a better game because if the Browns win that game, I believe I could be wrong, but they'll have the division lead if they can knock off the Ravens next week in Cleveland. So that's a big, big, big game looming for the Browns after. By the way, the surprise Colts winning in overtime today, 22-19. So
It's crazy.
interesting how. And by the way, I don't know what happened to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But my gosh, I mean, we can get into that later. But it was just kind of a crazy Sunday for football, and I think what the Dolphins put up 70 points today, 70, insane. But
That is in, unfathomable. Honest to God,
yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I expect that in college every once in a while, but not in the NFL by any means. But Allie, let's get into it. The defense came away with a big stop. It seemed like on every single play in this game, and the only 3 points in this entire football game was given up by a Browns turnover. The rest was a shutout by the Cleveland Browns defense today. So again, the defense came to play today. I think Deshaun had 25 or something, 25 or 33, something like that. So he had a much better game. The fact that DTR came into the game with 5 minutes left, it was that far out of hand for the Browns to be able to bring in their backups and reserves. So, Ali, tell us a little bit what you saw from the defense today, and then we'll obviously go to the other offensive side of the ball. But first, let's give a shout out to our friends
Yeah.
over at Stadium Mustard. If you don't have it, you probably had it at the stadium today, Stadium Mustard. Get it at stadiummustard.com or wherever you buy your groceries, or like I said, get it at the stadium. Go ahead, Ali.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're wondering what you should have for dinner, guys, the answer for you is Angelo's Pizza. Head on over to Lakewood to get your hands on the best pizza in all of Northeast Ohio. Let's get into it here, Dustin. I actually want to start with the defense. Look, I think that this is an incredible defense to begin with, but an incredible front seven. I am just ultra impressed with the linebackers.
Oh, yeah.
On this in the season that I thought that we were undermanned really at linebacker. But I think you have to give credit to this defensive line and being able to contain the run, only holding Derrick Henry to what did he have? He had 20 yards in this game, 20 rushing yards. And then Tyjae
Which is
Spears
insane, by the way,
like,
which is insane. Yeah.
To be able to
those are insane
contain the
numbers.
run and not allow really any downfield action. And this is Tannehill, while he's not like, I'd say he's an average quarterback in the league, but they have threats. They've got Traylon Burks, they've got DeAndre Hopkins, they have dudes on this offense, and to absolutely just shut that down is, I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch. But I want to give credit to the defensive line being able to contain the run, get after Ryan Tannehill, make him feel uncomfortable for 100% of this game. Just allows your secondary and your linebackers to do their jobs, to be able to react and respond rather than just run frantically and trying to put out fires. If we look at last year, that's all it was. It was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah just trying to put out a fire. Now he can actually sit back and do his job and react and respond accordingly, which is it's so much fun to watch. I think Grant Delpit is playing the best football of his career. He is right place, right time every single play. I want to give a shout out to him. He is remarkable, but you mentioned at the top, Dustin, it is Myles Garrett. This is Myles Garrett's defense. And man, he is on a mission this year.
Well, and you know what? I feel like for once, Myles Garrett kind of is actually playing that he can be Myles Garrett, right? I mean, he's smiling. He feels confident in what he's doing on that side of the ball. I mean, even though he got a couple encroachment calls today, he was ready to just wreak havoc on this offensive line. And I don't know if you noticed, Ali, at one point when he got that sack on Tannehill, he was literally being choked by the offensive guard around the neck to hold him from getting the sack, and he still got the sack. I'm like, they can't even block him correctly. They have to kind of like I don't know. It's just crazy to see like stuff like that doesn't even get called. Clearly, when you got a guy by around the neck, but it's crazy to see that. But I do really feel that Myles Garrett with Schwartz now really feels like he's coming to his own, and really is making Myles and Smith the players that they can be and playing to their strengths, right? Let them really play in space and be those defensive ends that they can. And when they do start wreaking havoc, that interior defensive line today, you saw started getting those pressures and going after the quarterback as well. So this entire front is going to wreak havoc with teams this year. And I just feel like they're playing more confident each and every game. You see it. You see that these guys know where they're supposed to be in their assignments. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch.
It really is. You know what? When you have a lot of excitement out there, it makes you really just want to kick back on maybe your new recliner from furniture. Talk about the day. So if you and I was excited. He recorded a sack on the day. Okoronkwo with half of the sack there with Miles. Man, it's coming together, and I just want to give credit to the disruption with the front four being able to just get home really organically here. Denzel Ward all over the place. When he is healthy, he is a top 5 corner in the league. I mean, you can argue that he's higher than that. When he is healthy and consistently healthy, he is a top corner in the National Football League, undisputed.
Yeah. And I mean, today, speaking of the linebacker crew today, I mean, JOK, he was wreaking havoc. He was getting in there on plays, getting behind the line of scrimmage. But today, Allie, I got to say what really impressed me the most from the defensive front and those guys that got in the backfield, they had Henry tied up before he even got to the line of scrimmage. They were getting him in the backfield, and you could tell on the sidelines how frustrated he was as a player. Like you said, only had 20-some yards today, but you can just tell the penetration that this defensive line was getting on that side of the ball and getting in the backfield very, very quickly.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and it's really a thing of beauty to see. I mean, this defense held Derrick Henry 11 for 20. His longest on the day was 9 yards. Tyjae Spears 4 for 6, and then Ryan Tannehill, he was 13 to 25 for 104 yards. He was sacked 5 times on the day. Myles Garrett was just absolutely dominating. Andre Dillard there, the left tackle. DeAndre Hopkins 3 receptions for 48 yards. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. This is a defense that is playing with their hair on fire, Dustin. Uh-oh, did I lose you, Dustin? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I lost you there for a second. Sound like.
Okay. Sorry about
You're
that.
Back. Are you there, Alex?
Can you hear me? We're good? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Allie, let's talk a little bit about the offense today. Obviously, Myles Garrett and the defense did what they did today, but I got to tell you, I feel much more pleased from what I saw from Deshaun Watson today. He seemed a little more comfortable in the pocket back there on his decision-making. The throws were not down. They were getting to those receivers on time. And Allie, the atrocious whistle call that held up Amari Cooper from getting another touchdown today. I have no idea why the hell the ref is literally looking at the play and calls a whistle when it's like, you see he didn't go out of bounds. So anyway, we probably would have had another 7 points, but we ended up scoring on that drive anyway. But no, the offense looked in sync today. Amari Cooper looked amazing out there. Donovan Peoples-Jones contributed today. He looked good. Kareem Hunt, Allie, I mean, it was nice to see Kareem Hunt back out there getting some tough yards on some, third and shorts, and just the way he played today, you wouldn't have thought that he had missed a bunch of time. I know he's lost 10 pounds. He came in a little lighter, but Allie, I got to tell you, he looked really good today. He looked really confident out there with the playbook.
Yeah, and it's nice to get back out and you kind of see him run. I know he runs like a Tasmanian devil, and sometimes that stresses me. I know he's a favorite. Like just a lot of fun.
Oh, I think we lost Allie again. She must be going through a bad area there. Are you there? Oh, are you there, Alan? Are you there?
Yeah, Dustin, you know what? If it's I'll just call it. I'll give you a call.
Oh, are you there? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear.
Okay, no, that's better. That's a little better now. Just sound like you're breaking up again.
Yeah, I apologize.
There you go. That's pretty good
All right.
there.
Perfect. Just talking about the day that Deshaun had, was able to spend a little bit more time there in the pocket, Dustin. I still think that there are some issues at left tackle. That's a conversation for another day. But overall, I
Mm-hmm.
think the offensive line played better than they did last week. Deshaun Watson, 27 to 33, 289, 2 touchdowns. Jerome Ford, man, I really like this player, Dustin. I know that he's not Nick Chubb, and we can't expect him to be. But your thoughts on the day that Jerome had?
Yeah, Jerome, we talked about this on the big podcast on Wednesday. I like that having Kareem Hunt in there, that kind of 1-2 punch, really kept the defense at bay, right? So you didn't know what Ford is one of those, kind of run downhill kind of runners like Nick Chubb. And then you have the complementary part of where Kareem Hunt could catch the ball. But the fact that Ford caught a ball in the end zone, you know what I mean? Just goes to show you the ability and the confidence he's going to have going forward in this season is going to be a big deal for Ford. And then, obviously Ford and Kareem haven't played a lot, but man, if you didn't know anything about the Cleveland Browns before this game, you would think that Ford and Hunt had played for a while, and they were they were in tune with each other out there today, and just the offense looked like it was clicking. Allie, like I at parts in this game, I was like, well, yeah, it's 3rd and 4, we'll get it. Like I just felt so confident in the offensive line today. Was one thing that I did notice. There was more time to create some of those lanes, and I just felt much more confidence in the way the offense played today. And I just see that you could also see that. I don't know if I want to call this the coming out game for Deshaun Watson, but I just felt like he was much more in tune today, Allie, as a quarterback and more command of the game. Specifically, is what I took away from this game. And as the game progressed, I don't know if you noticed, he just got more and more confident. Like he kind of felt like he was finally getting into the groove of things and getting in groove with these guys. Like some of those throws to like Cooper and DPJ were examples of that today.
No, I certainly agree with that. Now, I think that there were some things and some decisions that I was like, what is that? One specifically where he was about to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage and then turns around and throws a backwards pass. So I believe Elijah Moore, which could have been an absolute devastating play.
Yeah.
Now, that was just as boneheaded as it gets. I think that was just absolutely atrocious. So I do want to say that, but I agree with you in the sense that he looked more comfortable, he looked more confident, and he was able to be a distributor today. He didn't have to play hero ball.
Yes.
He was able to just distribute the ball to get it into the hands of the playmakers. So, for example, Amari Cooper, he went on 7 receptions for 116 yards, 1 touchdown. DPJ, 3 for 49. Big one there for 29 yards. Elijah Moore getting a lot of targets here as well, whether he's lined up in the backfield or in motion, or if he is actually lining up as receiver here. Elijah Moore, 9 for 49. His longest on the day was 14. And David Njoku as well. While he didn't have a ton of targets here, 4 for 20, if you can get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, good things are going to come. This offense is too skilled and too talented, to not score points and to not be an efficient and explosive offense. Deshaun doesn't have to be, the hero of this offense. We don't need that right now. Eventually, maybe, but right here, right now, especially against this Tennessee team, all he had to do was make good decisions, comfortable, simple throws, and get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Period, point blank. That's all he had to do. And it paid off. Your Browns come away with 27 points on the day.
Yeah, Allie, I want to ask you specifically about one play that was very interesting. Actually, back-to-back plays. The little bit of trickery out of Stefanski opening the playbooks up and expanding. I got to tell you, I thought I was watching Boise State football there for a moment, the way we were doing those trick plays and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, all right, Stefanski's opening the playbook a little bit. And by the way, that we had that defense completely puzzled on that play because I got confused. I'm like, who the hell has the ball now? And I was like, oh, it's over there. Like, but I like some of that, right, to kind of keep that defense honest and make them try to figure out what you're trying to do. But you're right, Ali. Getting back to the offense and Deshaun Watson specifically, if he has games like he had today, most of the season going forward, with the way our defense is playing, we're going to be in those games or not winning most of those games, right? So
Yeah.
if the defense keeps playing at a high level and he's going 27 to 30 and a couple touchdowns, we're going to be in those football games because the way the defense is playing right now, I don't think you got to score more than 20 some points. I'm being completely transparent here. This defense is playing at a very high level, and I haven't seen a defense for the Browns play like this, and I can't remember the last time a defense played. I mean, we might have to get Hanford back on the show the
Yeah,
last
I
time a
mean,
Browns
honestly, and I don't mean to be hyperbolic here, but not in my lifetime. So I know
Yeah,
we're only 3 weeks into this, but if they continue on this trajectory and can continue to play like this every single week defensively, I can honestly say I don't think I've seen a better Browns defense in my lifetime.
yeah.
Look, the talent's there, and again, I don't mean to be hyperbolic with that because I don't expect them to be the '85 Bears, but there is a
Right.
ton of talent on this team, offensively, defensively, and even on special teams. Want to give credit there too. It's just about it gelling and making smart decisions. I want to ask you, Dustin, your thoughts on the play calling today.
I like the play calling today. I think it was very well balanced. Like you said, Deshaun Watson got everybody involved today, right? There was DPJ, there was Njoku, there was Moore, there was Ford with catches, there was Kareem Hunt was getting plays early in this. I just thought we were well balanced, and it was a well called game, I guess would be the best way that I would describe it, because they were really getting a lot of distributing the ball today, right? There was a lot of people catching the ball. There was a lot of people involved on the offense, and I think that's a good day, right, from a play caller.
Yeah,
When you're
yeah,
getting the ball around to a lot of different players in the game, and they're getting a lot of different looks, I think that keeps the defense on bay. And I got to tell you, I look over it. I mean, Vrabel is a very good coach, and you could just see the way his demeanor on the sideline. He kind of was like, crap, I don't have an answer for this today, right? Like you could just see that, like he didn't have an answer, and he's a really good coach. And I think he looked a little frustrated at times, not knowing what to do in situations because most of the afternoon his quarterback was under duress, or it was a third and long. And you know how that is, Al. You get up by 10 or 17 points, they got to start passing the ball. We talked about this, right? That all of a sudden turns their offense into one dimensional, and then we're just going to you know, put our ears back and go after the quarterback, right? Because that's like we could play like that all year long. So I don't know. The offense just looked a lot better today. The offense obviously, you can say a lot about that Monday Night Football game against the Steelers, and some of the players have said this. It just kind of throws you off after your guy goes out like that, right? And then you have to go back in and this is the NFL. Put that aside, emotions in check, and try to win a football game. That's hard, right? That's really hard to
yeah.
do. And it just seems like this team was very focused today. They were dialed in, and they knew what they had to do to kind of rebound and go out and play for Chubb. And you can tell a lot of players were there for Chubb today. They were very into it. They felt like they had to win this game to do it for him. And you could just tell there was just a different energy about the team. I noticed it. You could see it on the sidelines, and they just seemed like they played with a lot more intensity today.
Yeah, I agree entirely. And just to echo the point of play calling, I thought it was pretty good. It was fun to see the offense having a little bit of fun with it. You mentioned some of the end arounds and the flea flicker. I mean, that was fun to see. But it comes down to execution. I mean, week one, we said, look, there's guys open. These big plays are there. You just have to hit them, and Deshaun wasn't doing that. Week two, you can't turn the ball over. So this week, it was nice to see, one, the turnovers to a minimum. I know that Elijah Moore had that one early, but then, to echo the point of the play calling and the execution, it was nice to see today. It was nice to see them being efficient. It was nice to see Jerome Ford being more comfortable in the backfield. Good to see Kareem being Kareem. We know who he is. But ultimately good to see Deshaun being able to connect with these pass catchers. Let's give out some game balls, but before we do that, a quick word from our friends over at Circle K.
Circle K is a touchdown for all your tailgating needs. Pick up grab-and-go sandwiches, snacks, drinks, and so much more for your pregame activities. Don't forget to grab a Polar Pop cup and fill it to the brim with Nugget Ice and your favorite flavor, including Circle K exclusive Mountain Dew Purple Thunder. Or mix it up to create your own. Fuel your day at Circle K with high-quality fuel. While you're there, sign up for Easy Pay and start saving 30 cents per gallon on fuel. Here we go, Brownies. Only at Circle K.
All right, Dustin, I know normally we start with the offense and I let you go first, but today we're going to start with the defense and I'm going first. I'm giving my game ball to Myles Garrett. This is the obvious one. And, I said at the top that this is Myles Garrett's defense and it should be. He's number 1 overall draft pick in 2017. He's finally playing. Not that he hasn't played to his potential before, but it seemed like every single season there was always something standing in his way. So far, he's got his ears pinned back. He's playing lights out, and I've just never seen anything like it. Myles Garrett, just today, 3.5 sacks on the day. The pressure that he's creating, the disguises, and just toying with opposing offenses, man, it is a thing of beauty. It is so much fun to watch, and it's just fun to see him being confident and also having fun.
Yeah, and so my game ball in the defense goes to the same game ball the Browns gave it to in week 1. I'm going to give it to Jim Schwartz. Having his guys dialed up, ready for this football game, schemed this game perfectly. Every player seemed to be in the right position at the right time and the right play. So just, again, another stellar football game coached by Jim Schwartz. So my game ball goes to Jim Schwartz today.
No, that's absolutely fair. I think he's got this team ready to rock and roll, and it is just a joy to watch. Offensively, I'm going Amari Cooper. I've been seeing something going around on socials where it says, is Amari Cooper the best receiver in Browns history? And I know some people were debating that, but if you look statistically, it's not far off. It's really not. I mean, he is certainly. Stats don't lie, Dustin. I mean, he if he's on this path. It is a real conversation. I'm not saying he's certainly the best, but he's up there in the conversation. If he can continue on the path that he was on last year and the path that he's currently on, man, it's just so good. Today he went 7 for 116 and a touchdown. He just creates separation. I think he is one of the best route runners in the National Football League, and he's just reliable. He can be that safety net for Deshaun Watson, but he can do it in such an explosive and dynamic way that I don't know who else could do it. It reminds me of the connection that he has with Deshaun Watson, reminds me of the connection that Deshaun Watson had with DeAndre Hopkins years ago in Houston. That's what it reminds me of. I think that if he remains healthy and can stay on this path, man, you're looking at a really good duo here. I'm giving it to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Amari Cooper, certainly modern day Browns, 99 Ford. Absolutely, I would give that to Amari Cooper just the way he's playing. Just because he's, I can't think of another wide receiver since 99 Ford that's had the consistent play that Amari Cooper has and at the same level he's playing, right? So for me, I'm going to give the game ball to Deshaun Watson today.
Sure.
He put up a 27, like you said, 33 game, 2 touchdowns, other than kind of that bonehead play that, that he threw back, just again, trying to get more open, right. To try to not, I think he thought he was going to get sacked on that play and he didn't want to have the loss of yards way back there. So I'm going to give it to Deshaun Watson. Played a much cleaner game, looked much better than week 1 and week 2, and made a big leap from the last couple of weeks. And if he keeps on this progression, like you said, and keeps playing complimentary football, we'll be in a lot of games this year, but I'm going to give my game ball to Deshaun Watson today. Much cleaner game. Looked like he was much more in command of the offense. Those balls were not going towards the ground. They were hitting the receivers right in the hands.
Yeah, most definitely. Guys, whether it is sophisticated suburban living, luxury downtown digs, or senior housing, K&D, the largest property management company in Northeast Ohio, has a perfect home for everyone. Visit candy.com to get started. That is the letter K, the word and, the letter D.com. Dustin, real quick, before we go around the league, why don't you tell our listeners about Cleveland whiskey?
Well, Cleveland whiskey is amazing, guys. If you haven't had it, get the peanut butter chocolate, the underground, all the different wheat penny. You can get those at your local establishments there in Ohio, or you can go to any of your local liquor stores and get that. But go to clevelandwhiskey.com. And if whiskey is not your thing, wine. I know Allie loves wine. So if whiskey is not your thing, run over to lorellovineyards.com and grab some wine. By the way, we have the Here We Go Brownies wine, platinum winning. A few dollars of each bottles go back to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. So grab some of that as well. Or go out to Geneva and take your girlfriends out there or some friends and enjoy a nice evening out in Geneva at the winery itself. Allie, with that, I'm going to bring up one quick thing, guys. We are going to be live next Monday night, the Taste of the Browns, just speaking of the wine itself. We're going to be there Monday night, so look for some interviews. I think we're going to have Joel Petonio on the show. Some other ones, Joe Thomas may be stopping by, and some other Browns players, so look forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun next Monday night after the Ravens game with some more live coverage of some Browns players there at the stadium.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, so be sure to check that out. Dustin, let's go around the league. Speaking of boneheaded plays and calls and whatnot, did you see the ending of the Chargers-Vikings game?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, Brandon Staley chooses to go for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2,
Of course
whatever
he
it was,
does.
4th and short. And it was so reminiscent of the game last year against Cleveland where he went for it, ended up not getting it, and Minnesota takes over with a chance to score, and Kirk ends up throwing an interception. So Chargers won, which was it was so eerie. It reminded me so much of the game last year in Cleveland where Brandon Staley chooses to go for it. They don't get it. Cleveland gets the ball. They have a chance to score. Jacoby throws an interception. So it just reminded me so much of that where I'm to the point where I think Brandon Staley's out very, very soon if they can't get things turned around. I know they won today, but man,
Well, they can just put Kellen Moore at the head coach position there. He's already interviewed for a bunch of jobs. Allie, so that makes the Vikings 0-3. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Damn. That makes you wonder what they're doing there in Minnesota. I believe the Lions won today, correct? They won.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They were playing pretty good ball today. Did Texans won, correct? They ended up winning that game.
Texans beat Jacksonville 37-17. Packers over
in
the
Jacksonville.
Saints.
Jacksonville, guys.
In Jacksonville. I didn't see that one coming. But the one I want to talk about is Dolphins, or Broncos and Dolphins. Dolphins won 70-20. 70-20. I mean, okay, I want to ask, I think we can all agree Denver's pretty bad. They're in a really bad spot. We know this. We've known this. And I think that it's really a tangible thing. We can talk about it with confidence now that Denver is just not good. But also, where are we at with the Dolphins? I mean, is this a Super Bowl team or is this Denver team just that bad? I don't know. This is a hard game to read.
I think Denver's a bad football team. They can't score a lot of points, right? I do. Here's the problem, though. The Broncos are in kind of a similar position the Browns are.
Yeah.
You just can't move off of Russell Wilson. Like, if he isn't the answer in Denver, what do they do, right? Are they going to get somebody else to take them off their hands? I know that wasn't Peyton's pick, right? He's the new head coach, and he was brought in to try to right the ship there, but it doesn't seem like it's working. And, has Russell Wilson, reached his, is he plateaued and going down the other way? That's the argument I made with a lot of people when they were talking about how much Russ Wilson was getting paid and how much Deshaun Watson. I'm like, well, there's also about 9 years difference in those guys, right? That's a big difference. Age, as we know, as quarterback, your arm strength, all those things go with time, unfortunately. And I just don't know, Allie, that they're in trouble out there. I just don't know what they're going to do. Their defense is decent, but man, they give up 70 points today. So I don't know if they've
70 points, Dustin. That is insane.
What do you think? Here's my question. At what point, like I'm picturing like if that was the Browns, right? And that was Schwartz, I would be pissed if I was the defensive coordinator. It's almost like you've given up, right? Like, how does your defense allow 70 points? You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe 30, 40, but 70, it's like they almost gave up, right? To me, that's almost like, did you just stop playing football in the second half? Did you just decide, like, I don't care anymore? Like, that's weird to me. I don't know what's happening in Denver. But, yeah, do I think the Dolphins are Do I think the Dolphins are a damn good football team? Absolutely. As long as Tua stays healthy, they'll be a really good football team. But they're well coached too, though. You know that, Allie.
Hmm.
He's a great coach, young, offensive-minded guy. Who would be the teams that could, get in their way? Possibly Kansas City, if Cincinnati turns it around. But I got to be honest, like I think the Browns will be one of those tough outs for any team in the AFC, just because of our defense if it keeps playing at this high level. Like I think that if we played the Dolphins today, they may win, but it's not going to be a game like that. You know what I mean? Like our
Right,
defense
right,
is
right.
our defense is better than that, right? So, yeah, I don't know. There's just some weird things in the NFL. Again, Baltimore scored 19 points today. They're not flashy, right? Like they're not that, and so and by the way, when did the Steelers play? Did they play tonight this
They play
afternoon or are they
tonight. Yeah, they're
okay,
tonight.
and they're on the West Coast, right? If that sound right?
Yeah, they're in
They're
Vegas. They're in Vegas.
yeah,
So just to go
yeah.
around
So
the league here, Lions beat the Falcons 20-6, Chargers over the Vikings 28-24, Packers over the Saints 18-17, Texans 37, Jags 17. Didn't see that one coming. Broncos 20, Dolphins 70. That sounds ridiculous to even say out loud. Bills 37, Commanders 3. The Colts
wow.
beat Baltimore 22-19. Patriots over Jets 15-10. And then you've got Panthers, Seahawks, Bears, Chiefs, Cowboys, Cards all currently playing. Crazy day in football. Some
Yeah.
things that we certainly wouldn't have guessed, but that's
No.
what makes the NFL fun.
So I was going to say, Allie, if anybody has not went over to brownsfanscruise.com, go over there and check out brownsfanscruise.com today. I was actually talking with our backers. It's going to be a fun trip. Allie and I are going to be hosting some stuff on the boat and on the islands. But it's a great opportunity to be with 20-some Browns alumni. Just a fun trip when it's nasty weather and it's cold. It's in March. But go check that out. We're excited to be a part of that. That'll be in March. That's the Browns Fans Cruise. But that'll be a lot of fun and so many different activities that they're going to have for all the fans that'll be interactive for over 5 days.
And you know what you need to do, as we plan ahead for this trip, let's get in the gym. Everybody head on over to HotWorks. Get in the infrared 24-hour saunas, hot core, hot yoga, hot glutes. Get in and get it done. You will see a difference if you go often. Just take my word for it. I love going in, hopping on a hot cycle bike for 15 minutes and then going over and doing some hot yoga, or even going over and doing some free weights. They've got everything you possibly need. And Dustin, I believe that we might be handing out some free memberships.
Yeah, guys, if you comment on the post today or in the comments and you'd like to go check it out in Strongsville, Rocky River, or Avon, and you're in the Cleveland area and would like to go check it out, free month, bring a friend. We had a couple people from our last show already sign up. It's a great workout. Like Ali and I said, we both use it. We enjoy it. It's a nice way to go in, and you can go any time of day, 24/7. That's the great part about it.
Absolutely. Dustin, I know it was a fun win today. Your Browns come away, 27-3. You love that. You feel good about it. Did you have any concerns on the day? I know we spent a lot of time talking about the positives surrounding this team. Just wanted to quickly talk. Were there any concerns that you saw today?
Nothing glaring, right? Special teams played today. Good. The defense played spectacular. The offense played good. I didn't see any. And by the way, can we just say Dustin Hopkins, like how well he's played in this game, kicking a 52-yarder and stuff. We didn't even get into Dustin Hopkins, but we thought the world was falling before week 1 with our kicking situation. And to your point, Allie, he's done very complimentary as the kicker for the Browns, and hopefully that continues, obviously. But, that was going to be my only concern as the season went on, was the kicking position. That's looking good. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any glaring things today, like stood out to me, other than the bonehead play by Deshaun. I think if he's in the post-game press conference, he was like, that was just dumb. I was trying to get into Elijah Moore's hands. I saw him behind me, right? Other than that, that was the only thing. But I didn't see anything glaring, like, oh my gosh. Again, the defense continues to play at a high level. I'm excited to be in Cleveland next week and watch them take on the defense. That'll be a very defensive battle type of game. I'm excited to see that. And I think it'll be a winnable game for us next week. And if the Steelers lose today, I think the Browns would be playing for first place in the AFC North, which
Yeah.
I don't know if after Monday night we would have thought that, Allie. But I think if you're a Browns fan, you thought the world was falling and hell was coming at you. But a few days to pause and realize that the next man just needs to step up. You call Kareem, he comes in. I think we're going to be okay. I really think we're going to be okay.
Well, let's hope. 1 week at a time, but it is nice to come away this week with a win. Everybody have a great victory Monday. Love saying those words, and let it set the tone for the week. Have a winning week. And we will talk to you on Wednesday. So be sure to check us out every single Wednesday. I promise you I won't be driving down 77 this upcoming Wednesday at 8 p.m. So be sure to check us out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, wherever you get your podcast. And then, of course, every Sunday post-game show. So be sure to check us out. We will see you then. Until then, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, Browns fans,